Have you ever realized that the things that made you good at life are the exact things that are exhausting you now? Hey y'all, it's your podcast bestie Jama again, and today we're talking about something that has come up a lot lately in my conversation with friends, being the easy one. And I'm not even kidding. This basically became a running theme in our group chats. You know, these conversations where everyone's like, wait, are we all feeling this too? And suddenly you realize, oh, it's not just me. I've always been the one who figured things out, the one who didn't cause problems, the one who just handled everything on her own, the one who just showed up and kept going and kept doing it for everybody. And honestly, I wore that like a badge of honor because it worked for me. I saw something the other day that said something like, being low maintenance really just means you handle everything yourself and don't ask for help. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that tracks. Because being the easy one, it's gotten me pretty far in life. I'm capable, I'm reliable, people trust me. I become the person everyone has counted on. And I've been that my whole life. But at some point, it starts to hit a little different. Not because you can't do it, but because you don't want to keep doing it the same way anymore. And this is where the conversation gets a little more interesting, because we'll be sitting there like, why am I the only one everyone comes to for everything? And then someone else is like, because you always handle it. And we all just sit there like, wow, okay. So I'm just going to say it now. If you're not besties with someone who sends you memes all day, every day, and you send them back to her and you just laugh about them because they're also relatable, then you're not really besties in the first place. So here's one that I got also more recently that said something like, I'm not independent because I want to be. I'm independent because no one showed up for me when I needed help. And again, not dramatic, but definitely makes you stop and think. Because I think a lot of us don't consciously choose this role. We just became it. And it worked. For a very long time it worked. Until now, when it didn't work so much anymore. And what I'm starting to realize is this. Even if you're doing less physically, you're still carrying that same mental load that you've always carried. Still thinking ahead, still figuring things out on your own, still being the one who chooses to handle it all. And that gets really heavy. And I don't think I fully noticed it until I was forced to slow down. Because when you have to slow down, you can't ignore things the same way that you used to. And I don't think this is about becoming a completely different person, because I'm not. I'm the same me. I think it's just about adjusting how you actually show up. Keeping the parts of you that are real, because you are who you are, but letting go of the parts that were just survival patterns, because you did have to learn to just survive. And I'll be totally honest with you, this is still something I'm figuring out. I'm not perfect by any means, because my default is still, I'll handle it on my own, I'll figure it out on my own, I'll just keep going and pushing forward. And midlife is kind of like, yeah, we're not doing that the same way anymore, though. So if you've been feeling that, like you're tired and always being the one who holds everything together, or feeling like something just isn't sitting right with you anymore, it might not be that anything is wrong necessarily. It might just be that you're ready to do things differently, finally. And honestly, I think that's where the shift starts. Not when everything falls apart, but when you actually start paying attention to what doesn't feel aligned or right anymore. Make sure you're following me, Midlife Reset with Jama Pantel, and I'll see you in the next episode. But in the coming week, I want you to just notice where you're being the easy one. Not in a judgmental way, just in a, that's interesting kind of way. I am that way. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it, I promise you. And if you suddenly realize you're doing everything for everyone else, don't worry, I'm right there with you, trying not to immediately fix it. All right, y'all, until next week, bye for now.